Hi everyone, I'm Liz Miller with the area First Advantage Real Estate and more with Miller.com. Recently I've been doing a lot of traveling and going to some conferences, and one session in general really stood out to me. Talked about finding your whys, your why in life, your why in your career, and it's had me really thinking about that. So I thought I'd take a few minutes and just kind of share with you some of my whys in life. And like most of you, my whys stem back from experiences from my childhood and from my young adult stage. And one thing that makes me a little unique and a little different is that when I was born in 1980, in February of 1980, and my father had recently passed away. He passed away a month before I was born. So my upbringing was a lot different than most, in that my mother, who was a devout Catholic at the time, decided not to date and not to remarry until I was fully grown and out of the house. So I grew up with my mother, my sister, who at the time of my dad's passing was 8 years old, and my mother also was the caregiver for my grandmother, who had early signs of dementia. So our household, I grew up in a 100-year-old farmhouse in Rockport, Indiana, and that house had been passed down to us from my great-grandfather. So it was within those walls that I really had shared those experiences and became who I am. Because my grandmother had dementia, honesty was extremely important to us. When you're dealing with somebody who has dementia or early onset of Alzheimer's, it's very important that the family who doesn't have that illness is very truthful. So honesty became very important to me. My mother was a huge entertainer. She hosted all of our Thanksgivings, she hosted Christmas. And when I reflect back on the things that most stand out to me, it is those events, those holidays that we hosted in that house that really, stand out and made me feel rich, when some others would probably look at me and say, oh, no, honey, you are just lower middle class. But the truth of the matter is, one of my fondest memories from that house is sitting around our dining room table with my high school buddies playing cards with my grandmother. We used to bet pennies, and again, it was just something that was pure enjoyment, and it was something that somebody ailing with dementia could really lock onto, and she was a different person, and I remember that. The other thing I remember about growing up was the vacations that we took, and the places that my mom would take us, and the things that we did on those memories are very vivid to me. So now that I'm grown and I have a husband of my own, Ryan and I are both 37. My father died at 32. I kind of, I realized that every day is a blessing, and it isn't about the things that you have, it's about the memories that you make. And for us and for our kids who are now 9 and 7, we really enjoy taking trips with our kids and hosting the same holidays that my mother did. It's about, for us, our whys, we want to be able to give our kids the instinct to know what's valuable and what's not. So in essence, that 100-year-old farmhouse is what shaped me. It's the house that built me. And so for me, being a real estate agent gives me the opportunity to share that with people who are buying their new homes, because it will be a part and a thread in their making and their experiences in their life. So my whys for being honest and for valuing travel and time with my family stems directly back to my upbringing. And my why for being a real estate agent is simple. I want to be able to provide that opportunity for others who have families. At the root of it all, where you live really does make a difference. So I'm thankful that I had the upbringing that I did, and that it is somewhat unique. and that I can pass along the opportunity to own your own home and to establish and make memories of your own. So if you have any questions for me, or if you'd like to learn more about me, you can visit morewithmiller.com. And if you'd like to share your whys with me, I'd love to see a comment on this thread as well. Thanks.